Wix is the website builder that just keeps on giving. It's giving...
I just built my whole site in under an hour.
It's giving...
I actually made that?
Whoa.
It's giving...
Our sales are through the roof.
So whether you need help expressing yourself or just need something to make your life easier, Wix has you covered. Try it out at Wix.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Inside Georgia Real Estate with my dear, beautiful, brilliant sister, Deborah Morton. She knows everything about Georgia real estate. She knows everything about the real estate business, and she is very, very knowledgeable. The number is 404-872-0750, 1-800-WSB-TALK. Those are the numbers. This show is designed for you to call in and ask all real estate questions, and she has the answers. Deborah,
I'm here.
I
made it.
Yeah.
I made it. It was a rough ride getting here. Got a flat tire on the way. It was super fun. Stopped into my friends following Kevin's car show. The Car Guys show is always fun. Kevin and I have a good time talking about cars together because I'm a car nut as well. Audi Marietta handled me like a champ. Man, did they hook me up today, because they're full service.
right. Explain what you mean by that.
So this is why I am a fan of full service in every industry. Kevin does it at his dealerships. Audi Marietta did a great job with me today. The people who work in full service dealerships is very much like my business, where we are a full service brokerage and we go the extra mile. And what does the extra mile look like? You know, in a car dealership, obviously, I've got a flat. I need help. I'm here.
Right.
I made it on time. But in real estate, what that looks like is client care that goes way beyond just finding houses. It's not about finding a house. It's about making sure that we understand the client's needs fully and completely, whether they're selling or buying, investing, or getting ready to make a move. I met with some people this morning that were absolutely lovely from St. Louis, and they are considering a move to be closer to their grandkids, and they're just not sure yet. So
They're not sure if they want to move or be closer to their
they're sure they want to be close to their grandkids.
Right.
So I did give them a hard time about, which kid do you want to move closest to?
Right.
But so assuming that the good child lives here in the Atlanta metro area and they want to move closer, they've been in their home 40 years. And it is not just look online, find a house, go buy it. It is so much more than that. Full service means financing help. It means help with movers, insurance, taxes, answering questions that if you haven't made a move in a long time, there's a lot more, and it's emotional. I think that's the key where people who don't value a full service professional, they lose sight of the importance of the care and concern that goes in. You become my client, and I don't like to say you're part of my family until after the transaction is done, because some people's families are dysfunctional. Right. You don't want your family members in your business, but the care and concern needs to be there. And I got to feel that from my car dealer this morning, and I got to give that to my buyer client. And this afternoon, when I meet with my seller client, I'm going to provide that same level of care and concern. Regardless of when somebody wants to sell, an advisor who takes your whole life into account is what full service looks like. And then having the resources and the support, the technology support, the skill in negotiating and contracts, and the skill and the team of vendors behind me, my staging company that works with me, my contract management company, how we handle every piece of this. If you need a vendor for roofing or septics, we had the great Scorpion Septics on Dave's show about a month ago. And when you work with vendors who care about service, you get an experience that's not miserable. I mean, you're going to pay anyway.
Right.
You're paying coming and going regardless. And it's not just in real estate. It's in every business. You're going to pay for a car. You're going to pay for your car service. You're going to pay for your septic service. You want to make sure you're in the hands of somebody who actually has the integrity to serve at a high level. And that's what I preach about all the time.
So when you talk, because you were saying a lot earlier, right? So I'm thinking, so I see a realtor online or something, and they've got a house, ABC Main Street, right?
Right.
And they have their picture there. You're saying that realtor won't do the staging and all those things that you're talking about?
Not necessarily. No, and you know what? There's different strokes for different folks.
Understood.
There's you can shop at Walmart, or you can go to Lennox and go to a designer brand. There's different things for everybody. There are some cases where the cash offer is the best deal for them, and it's the right thing to do. There's also times where selling it yourself, some people are very capable. And a lot of the questions I answer for folks is that is always an option. You don't have to have an agent, but it just depends on what your needs, what your goals are, and what you like. I'm working with somebody right now who has never worked with an agent before in her lifetime. She hasn't transacted real estate in over 20 years. So 20 years ago, she did some transactions without an agent, and it worked out for her. But now with technology, and she's at a different stage of life where having somebody help her with the organizing and packing and the moving, because she's older, it's worth it. And I helped her understand. I answered her questions anyway, right, whether she wants to do it herself or not. But at some point, everything's baked into the cost anyway. So
404-872-0750, 1-800-WSB-TALK. Again, our phone number for you to call in with all your real estate questions is 404-872-0750, 1-800-WSB-TALK. I have a question, because you started us off talking about your car and the dealership and full service.
Right.
How do you know, if someone came to your website, InsideGeorgiaRealEstate.com, and if they didn't come there and saw we're a full service, agency,
right,
how do you know a full service agency before someone tells you, if that question makes sense?
Yeah, no, it does make sense. It would be the array of services that are being provided. You go back more than a year ago, before the lawsuit with the class action lawsuit that changed things. People thought that all realtors get paid the same, and regardless of the work they do. Well, that's not really true. It's always been negotiable, but there is our industry is full of people who expect to get paid a lot of money and provide not enough service. And I'm fundamentally against that. I know that the money my company, the agency Atlanta, makes in dealing with real estate, we are providing full service. And what does that look like is from the first consultation way past closing, you have a relationship with a professional who is caring about every facet. It's a 360-degree view wraparound for the services we provide. We're not going to leave you hanging trying to figure anything out on your own, because we're here. We're your full-service agents. So what that looks like is on our website right now, on the InsideGeorgiaRealEstate.com, you can go online and get your home report card. It is something that we've added as part of the early level service. So if somebody they're thinking about moving, but they're not sure, and they want to do their own evaluation before they contact an agent, download that. It's a simple one-page report card. You can do your own evaluation of your home. But then once you do that evaluation and you see that you're rated a C or a D or an F in some areas, how do you get it to an A, and does it matter?
Let me ask you this. How does someone get a C on their home report card?
It's a self-evaluation.
It's self-evaluation.
It's a self-evaluation so that you can figure out and make changes before you put your home on the market. And that will net you fewer days on market. Your home sells homes in good condition sell faster and for more money. So if you wait until you put your home on the market and then you start getting feedback, wow, nobody's buying my house. Well, it could be because the fence has fallen down in the back and the garage door opener doesn't work and the kitchen hasn't, been updated and there's burn stains on the laminate countertop. there are things that you can do prior to selling, prior to doing the photographs and everything else that will bring you more money for your sale. So by having a report card, you can self-evaluate and do a walkthrough on your home, just like I would do. I'm more experienced. I look at hundreds of homes in a year. I can guide people easier, but it's kind of just a first step. It's, stick your toe in the water and see what it looks like. And I find that educated consumers do a better job. They're happier. Their relationship with me and my team. The Agency Atlanta is an advocate for consumer education. We want to work with educated buyers and sellers because it's a better experience for everybody.
Absolutely.
You get what you want when you're educated.
404-872-0750, 1-800-WSB-TALK. Those are the numbers to call in with all your real estate questions. We have a caller. We're going to go to break, and then we'll take Steve, hang on. Please don't go anywhere. You have a very good question, so hang on. But the numbers to call, 404-872-0750, 1-800-WSB-TALK. When we come back, Deborah, I want to talk more about the home report card.
Yes.
I'm going to take Steve's question, and then at some point after that, I want to talk about the home report card because
you're worried about getting an F, aren't you, Shelley?
Well, here's the thing. So what I'd like to do, because with my home, I love my home. Right? I love it. I love every aspect of it. I love my decks. I love my backyard. I love my little tool shed area. So I love my home. But I'm thinking, oh, wait a minute. What if I do the home report card and I'm a C or a D? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, will I still love it? That's kind of what I want to talk about.
Okay. We can talk about it.
Yeah. 404-872-0750, 1-800-WSB-TALK. We will be right back. Hang on, Steve. We're coming right to you. Inside Georgia Real Estate is the name of the show. The website is InsideGeorgiaRealEstate.com. Inside Georgia Real Estate with Deborah Morton. Let's go to Steve from Franklin. Hey, Steve.
Hey, Shelley Winter. Listen to you every night.
Oh, thank you, Steve.
And I thank Deborah so much for your help. I own 11 acres in Heard County, and it's been appraised for $107,000, but there's an Indian monument on it, and I've looked all over, and there's only a couple in Georgia that are owned privately. There are a number of them that are owned by the state and organizations. But anyway, I figured that had to do that would have to have something to do with the price I asked, and I have no idea how to figure out how much to try to get for this land.
So this is fascinating. So when I have unique properties like this, so let me ask first, you had it appraised, and did the appraiser note on the appraisal report that there was a monument?
No, ma'am. I'm going by the tax appraisal.
Oh, and, okay. You didn't have an appraiser come out. This was just the standard tax.
No, ma'am. That was this year's taxes, what they taxed me for.
Gotcha. So I have another question. What is the monument for? Is it a burial site?
No, ma'am. It's something called a solstice marker. It's what the Native Americans used for a calendar, and most of them are very simple, but that one down there is complex and really top of the line as far as solstice markers go.
That's fascinating.
That is fascinating. What about a historical or Kennesaw history department or something?
Yeah, I mean, but if you were going to sell the land, it would require some research to find out. So I find whether it's a historical marker or anything else, there are certain buyers who will be fascinated by it. Like me, you just intrigued me, and I'm like, "Oh, what is this about?" But there are always going to be people who are not interested. They don't care. And to simplify this conversation, it's more like swimming pools. Some people want them, and they will pay more for a great swimming pool. And some people, no matter how great the swimming pool is, they don't want one, and they don't want that property at all because it has a pool. So it's different strokes for different folks. I think there are people who would be fascinated to have something like that on their property. The reason I asked about the burial site is that comes up a lot because there's so many cemeteries or like properties that are built right next to cemeteries, and that does impact value. And it's not in a positive way,
right?
Because so many people just absolutely will not buy a property that backs up or touches a cemetery. It has a negative valuation effect on it. How much is always the question. But there are all over Metro Atlanta, there are homes built right next door to cemeteries, and the neighbors are quiet. I don't. Some people, though, it's cultural. Some cultures have more strong opinions about than others. On yours specifically, I would need to do some homework, and I would reach out to historical societies in the area. Heard County might have one. I'm not familiar with it. I live closer to the Kennesaw Mountain National Battlefield Park. That might be a good place to start to figure out exactly what the monetary value is from a marketing perspective. That would be a fun property to market.
Now, Deborah, if Steve wanted to get more information,
send me a message on InsideGeorgiaRealEstate.com, just all spelled out. And I think my team and I would have a fun time looking at this one just to see.
You sure would.
Yeah.
Beautiful property.
Yeah, it's interesting. And I'm sorry I don't have a pat answer for you, but I think it's better that I don't, because in cases like this, any unique property deserves a thorough background check on what it is.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
InsideGeorgiaRealEstate.com, Steve. Just go to the website and send Deborah an email, and you guys start talking,
and
okay?
Thanks for listening, and thanks for calling in.
And I thank you both so much. You've been a big help.
Thank you, Steve.
Bye.
Yeah, a historical marker, a Native American historical marker. That's kind of cool.
You see Shelley get the heebie-jeebies when I start talking about cemeteries.
Yeah, I'm not. We can talk about that on the other side. I am not a fan of living near a cemetery. 404-872-0750, 1-800-WSB Talk. Those are the numbers. Give us a call. Deborah has the answers. When we come back, we're going to talk about the home report card as well.
Sure.
We'll be right back.
The Brookhaven City Center is now open. Come see what we've built, where neighbors meet on the green, kids laugh under the open sky, and conversations spark over coffee. It's a space for learning, celebrating, and connecting right in the heart of our city. Brookhaven City Center is our community living room, and you're always invited, because in Brookhaven, we're better together. Discover more at brookhavenga.gov.
It's Inside Georgia Real Estate with my dear sister. She is brilliant. She knows everything about Georgia real estate. Her name is Deborah Morton. The website is InsideGeorgiaRealEstate.com. The phone number is 404-872-0750, 1-800-WSB Talk. Let's go to our caller, and let's talk about home report cards. And also, I want to ask you about the government shutdowns impact on the real estate industry. Regular Dave from Hiram. Go ahead, Regular Dave.
Yeah, did the screener pull up a picture for you to look at?
What's your question, Dave?
Well, I'm saying if you look at the house, it explains maybe the whole argument.
Well, this is radio, and the listeners can't see what you're talking about.
I know, but it's for you, because my question is for you about your opinion on how to sell this rascal, because it's been off and on the market for 15 years, maybe going on 16.
Wow. Well,
so
tell me.
We're running out of options. Even I tell people, if you buy the land for 85% of market, I'll sell you the house for $1.
What do you think is the issue with your home?
I don't know, because I've had rich and famous people through there. I had the high school girl that was trying to rent it out. She actually answered the ad and said, "Sir, I can't afford that house, but it's beautiful, and we've always wondered at my high school, my entire senior class, what that house looked like on the inside. And you made my day and 50 of my friends." Now, there ain't many high schoolers going to say something like that.
Well, it seems like it's kind of got a medieval theme to it.
Yes, it does, sir.
So do you think that could be it, that there are not many people into the medieval theme?
It's hard telling. I mean, you would think you'd come across one, person out of 16 years that would think, because the Hollywood honcho was there, and he's sitting there by the stained glass windows with the candles lit, and said he's never felt more at peace now ever in his life
Dave,
until that moment.
is this home currently listed?
No.
Okay, then send me a message on InsideGeorgiaRealEstate.com with the address, and I'll get with you afterward. Clearly, if it's been 16 years, it's going to be a long conversation.
Right. Well, go to InsideGeorgiaRealEstate.com, Dave, and send Deborah an email.
Well, I don't have a pencil to write it down, and since I'm part senile, I probably might not remember this. Inside Georgia, you say?
Yeah.
InsideGeorgiaRealEstate.com.
Or you remember WSB? You can find us there.
Oh, WSB. Well, I got a cell phone.
Okay.
The internet at my house is doubtful.
Thank you.
I get
There
that
you
little
go.
circle-y thing
Thank you,
going.
regular Dave. We appreciate you calling. I mean, we're looking at the pictures. It looks like he could turn it into a kind of, what do you call it, medieval dinner, like medieval nights at the round table.
Yeah, we'd have to check zoning.
Oh, for commercial zoning,
Yeah,
right. Because, I mean, it's got, this, like you said, stained glass windows and everything. It's kind of fascinating.
Hey, you know what? There's something for everyone out there, but not everyone wants everything.
Right. InsideGeorgiaRealEstate.com. Home report card. First of all, explain where the home report card idea came from.
We're going to give Dave the home report card so he can walk through it and evaluate his home and decide for himself if this is a home that is in the condition that people want to buy it. So, like Shelley, you were talking about your home. You love your backyard, the porch, and everything. That's one area. We evaluate the exterior. We evaluate the landscaping, the driveways, the step, the walkway, the front door. You walk in the house. What does the foyer and the entry look like? And so on and so forth through the home. And it's the systems, the components, the age of the roof, all of those things need to be evaluated before you go sell your house. Now, what you love and what buyers love might be two different things. But when it comes down to it, even a home that's been on the market, I can't even imagine 16 years on the market. Price and condition are what dictates home selling. So if, like he said, if he would sell the house for $1 for the land value, it always comes down to price and condition and marketing. How are we going to market it to reach the buyer who has the money, that is willing to pay and is motivated to move forward? We'll skip right ahead to the government shutdown. What I'm seeing in the market right now, houses are still selling. Like, for those who think that they're not, they are. The good houses are still selling. There are plenty of people who want to move. But overall, the market is pretty flat because of the uncertainty that is created in an environment where nobody knows what's going on. Is the government shutting down? Will they have money? Are people going to be out of work? All of those things create fear. And when people are fearful, they don't make big decisions. So I'm sure lipstick sales are off the chain because that's what we found in COVID. Right. Lipstick sold well because it makes people feel good and it's a low price. Houses are not low price. It's a big decision. And so people need to feel confident and secure making a move when things are uncertain. Right. There are some good deals to be had. If you need a castle, right, there's a good deal waiting. So that's the thing. It's a level of confidence from the consumer. We went from super high interest rates and concerns over tariffs to now the government shutdown. So until we have stability in our marketplace, we're going to continue to have that. But it doesn't change the fact that some people need to buy and sell. Right. And
so the government. So when you talk about the government shutdown impacting the real estate market, it's not necessarily the issues around the shutdown or the politics about the shutdown. It's simply the uncertainty of it.
It is uncertainty. And every time we hit a period of time where there's uncertainty, this is what happens. What's crazy, COVID, the market would have shut down completely, except for the fact that people were cooped up. They wanted out, and money was practically free. Getting mortgage interest rates below 3%, and they stayed that way for a really, really long time, longer than they should have. And that created the affordability issues we're seeing now. So that was government manipulated. But there was a lot of uncertainty at that time, too. What changed that, why my argument didn't apply, was the cost of money. It was basically free. I mean, 3% is
right,
like nothing.
Let me ask you this then. Uncertain times, right? People don't want to pull the trigger. Like
the majority,
right?
There are people out there who are getting good deals, and they're happy about it.
That's what I want to ask you.
Yes.
So when we have a time like this and there is uncertainty, who is that better for, the buyer or the seller?
So I'm going to say my flat answer is the buyer, because the buyers can get good deals. But that's not necessarily true, because the sellers are seeing huge success right now. If they put their home on the market right now, and I'm eliminating condos from this conversation.
Right.
Single family homes in Atlanta, if they're in good condition and they're priced right, they are still selling quickly. They're not selling in 48 hours, but less than 30 days traditionally is fantastic. That's good results. And those results include healthy negotiating between buyer and seller. So if a seller wants to sell their home and their home is in good condition and it's priced right, there will be buyers who will come look at it. Not 2022 level, but that's okay. I'm seeing it's more like 2018 right now, 2019, where there was a back and forth in the marketplace. Sellers there are a lot of homes on the market today that are in very poor condition. People are not fixing their decks or replacing their garage doors or any of the things that should be done. And buyers are intolerant of that. They're not going to accept a property that's not in good condition. They don't have to, because they're not that motivated to move. But if the right home hits the market, they'll jump fast.
404-872-0750, 1-800-WSB-TALK. Those are the numbers. You wanted me to read a book. You've been because of Georgia Bulldogs football schedule, we're all, just scattered kind of schedule. But for about 4 weeks now, you've been telling me, have you gotten the book Wealthy and Well Known?
I read a lot.
Right. And I want to pull from you something from that book that you talked about earlier that you wanted to bring up on the show.
You're going to have to refresh my memory. I tell you about a lot of books, Shelley. I don't know that you've read any of the books.
No, I haven't. That's what I'm saying. But I want you to tell the audience that this particular book and how it pertains to what we were just talking about, the marketing and uncertainty and all of these things.
Right. So it's creating certainty. So that Rory Vaden wrote that book. It's a really good one. It's not the first book of his that I read. And I am a prolific reader of good stuff. You put good things in, good things come out. And that's why I'm here to share good things with people. And I believe that people need a word of encouragement, and they need to be focused on what matters to them. And if someone is in a 2-story home and they're struggling with stairs and they're afraid to make a move, I can bring an encouraging word and lay out a strategy that will help them have certainty and be more confident in their decision making. It's all about being focused on their goals and their needs. And back again to full service, when you focus on that, then we get a clear path to success. That's what that looks like for people, is we want to provide certainty in their questions and answers. Many people start their search for a home two years ahead. Many sellers start thinking about selling even more than that, 2 to 3 years, especially if they have kids in school or they're in college and they're about to graduate or will be graduating. It's natural to start thinking, what are our next steps? And people don't make those decisions quickly or lightly. My job is to help them focus in. I ask the right questions to help them get clarity on what they need to do for their next steps to the future.
404-872-0750, 1-800-WSB-TALK. Those are the numbers for you to call. We're coming towards the end of the show, so go to InsideGeorgiaRealEstate.com, InsideGeorgiaRealEstate.com. Go there now if you want to send Deborah Morton a question. We will be right back. Inside Georgia Real Estate, ladies and gentlemen, Mark Aram's got a tour going around, and a whole bunch of listeners just came in the studio and met you, Deborah.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Yep.
Interesting. You guys, radio's tough because y'all can't see what is actually happening here. So
Right.
It's good.
And everyone got to see you, and they
Yes.
say, oh, Shelley's right. She is beautiful, and she's brilliant.
Oh, we lost our caller.
That's all
Sorry
right.
about that.
404-872-0750, 1-800-WSB-TALK. Deborah, you said something earlier when you talk about uncertainty with the government shutdown, because until you brought it up, I would never have thought to myself, oh, the government shutdown, that has nothing to do. If I want to buy my home or sell my home, I'm going to do it anyway. How does that impact? But while you were talking about it, you talked about just uncertainty makes people gun shy.
Yes.
What would you determine as certainty, which makes people a little bit more apt to sell or buy?
Confidence in a well-oiled economy when everything's humming along at a good clip and people are confident. The conversations I have are different. It's they know what they want. They're certain, like they make good decisions. They just move confidently forward. So it's a shorter sales cycle. It's a shorter process. So I'm very sensitive when we're working with people now to take into account their emotional state. I don't want to make it sound, because most people aren't they're not crying in their Wheaties over the situation, but there's a hesitancy, and I need to provide a lot more information than during a healthy economy where people are feeling more confident. They don't need as much information to make a decision about a move. I think one of the callers, the call screener, got half of the question. He was calling in about outdated homes. So he's been looking for a home for a long time, from what I understand. And the homes he's looking at are not in great condition. And what that means to him is they're not updated, but the sellers are asking for prices as if they were updated.
What would be outdated home? What is the date cutoff that defines outdated? I know it's not. Yeah. I know it's not official, but in your expertise,
it's not a hard science. It's more of a feeling like I want quartz countertops and hardwood floors versus old wore out carpet and low vanities in the bathrooms.
Low vanities?
Low vanity. Yes, vanities are higher now. So for taller people.
What are that's the mirror on?
No, it's this thing that holds your sink.
Okay, that's the vanity.
Bathroom.
Okay,
the vanity, yes.
So they're higher now.
They're higher. So older homes have lower vanities.
That's amazing.
So you have to bend over further to brush your teeth.
Absolutely.
So that is not updated. So things like that a buyer, if a seller wants top dollar for their home and they have not made updates to bathrooms and kitchens and things like that, their home might sit because the buyers are hesitant because the cost of money is more.
Right.
The cost of getting into this house is more. They still have to put a down payment. They have to pay their closing costs. They have to pay their agent. And so they don't have leftover money to go gut a bathroom and a kitchen after buying a new house.
Understood.
2 years ago, houses were cheaper, money costs less, borrowing money costs less, so people didn't mind as much saying, okay, well, I'm going to get into this house and I'll remodel it afterward.
And I'll put my own touch to this house.
Right, but it's really about the money because they're hiring it. People aren't doing their own work. So not having funds available or the interest rates being higher, now their cost of living is higher, bread and milk is higher, so it makes them nervous. I don't want to buy a house for top dollar or even competitive dollar and then have to turn around and put $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 into it that they're borrowing because they don't have the cash reserves.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's why she's the expert. InsideGeorgiaRealEstate.com. Last words before we go off the air for the week.
I want to remind everybody it's beautiful weather. Go out into your neighborhood and your community. The North Cobb Rotary Club is serving at Mountaintop Boys Home this weekend in North Georgia. It's a foster care facility and at home for boys in the DFACS and foster care system. So Rotary Club does a great job supporting community. I challenge each one of you to get out into your community and make a difference.
God bless you all. Have a wonderful weekend and go to InsideGeorgiaRealEstate.com. Have a wonderful weekend.
The Brookhaven City Center is now open. Come see what we've built, where neighbors meet on the green, kids laugh under the open sky, and conversations spark over coffee. It's a space for learning, celebrating, and connecting right in the heart of our city. Brookhaven City Center is our community living room, and you're always invited because in Brookhaven, we're better together. Discover more at brookhavenga.gov.